What's up, you guys? It's PokeGirl7 here, and we have some big news to talk about today in Pokemon Go. Now, this is a topic that a lot of people have been really excited about, and I haven't really said much about the topic yet. So basically what we're talking about today is PvP. Now, recently in a Polish interview, the product marketing head of Niantic actually stated that Niantic is working on PvP right now, and they are planning to release it within the next few months, basically before the end of this year. So let's talk about what PvP will be like and what it is. So basically PvP is a one-on-one trainer battle that we've seen in a lot of the core Pokemon games in the past. Most Pokemon games have PvP, but it's never been seen in Pokemon Go yet. So basically the current gym system in Pokemon Go is, you know, a trainer will show up to a gym, put their Pokemon in that gym, they leave. Another trainer can come up, take that Pokemon out of the gym and put their own in there. But there's never that one-on-one interaction. You don't actually have to be in front of each other, battling each other. You know, it's kind of just a weird thing where you just kind of leave your Pokemon there, the other trainer comes in. And in the main series games, all battles were always turn-based. So basically, one trainer went their turn, the next trainer went their turn, back and forth, back and forth. Right now in Pokemon Go, like I said before, you just tap your screen, you go, and there's no player, there's no trainer with the other Pokemon that you're battling to have their turn. You're just battling that Pokemon. It's kind of brutal when you really think about it. But right now, there's no turn-based battle in Pokemon Go, and maybe they will change that for PvP. It seems likely it would make a little bit more sense. So let's talk about why I think Niantic wants PvP in the game and why I think they are going to release it. Basically, they want to increase the friendship aspect of the game. They've done a really good job of this lately. We now can add friends in Pokemon Go, we can trade Pokemon with them, we can trade gifts in Pokemon Go. But like I said before, we've never had the one-on-one battle aspect in Pokemon Go, and I really think it would be super fun to meet up with your friends, battle the Pokemon that you have raised so well, used all your charged TMs on to get the right moves, the Pokemon that you have spent so much Stardust on. They're finally going to go to a really good use in these battles. I believe that the PvP will be more personal. It's going to feel more special to you when you do defeat someone's Pokemon. It's not just going to be, you know, you just go to a gym, you tap on the screen, you take a Pokemon out, whatever. It kind of becomes mundane, your everyday routine. Not really nothing special. I think the PvP will be really cool to actually see your friend in person, be like, yeah, I'm gonna kick your butt, you know, that kind of thing. It's gonna be really fun. Hopefully people keep it friendly. I'm sure there will be a few problems with people being violent and angry, but for the most part, I do think people are gonna be responsible and not let it get over their head too much. I think it's gonna be a really good feature to see in the game, like I said, for that friendship aspect. So let's talk about the timeline of Pokemon currently. So basically we know that this November we're getting a new Pokemon main series games. It's going to be a Pokemon Yellow remake. We're going to have Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. And we actually found out a couple of months ago that those games are going to link up with Pokemon Go. You're going to be able to trade Pokemon from Pokemon Go into the Let's Go game. So that's going to be super exciting. But this kind of leads me to believe that this is why we're getting PvP in Pokemon Go. I feel like they're going to try to bring in the main series battle feel into Pokemon Go to get people interested in the Pokemon Let's Go main series games. So a lot of people believe that if PvP does come to Pokemon Go, that there's going to be a lot of changes to the battle system and maybe even stats in Pokemon Go. So let's kind of talk about the comparison between the main series games and the Pokemon Go game. So in the main series games, Pokemon have 4 moves versus in Pokemon Go they only have 2. In the main series games they have 4 different moves with different powers and accuracies, and then in Pokemon Go you basically just tap the screen to use the fast move over and over until the charge move charges up and you hold down the screen and it uses that charge move. Another difference with the main series and the Pokemon Go is actually that in Pokemon Go there are only 3 stats for a Pokemon, which is HP, attack, and defense. Versus in the main series games, we have those 3 stats, but we also have 3 more. We have speed, special attack, and special defense. So it leads me to wonder that maybe they're going to bring in these changes before the Pokemon Let's Go games come out. That way, when you transfer a Pokemon from the Pokemon Go into Pokemon Let's Go, it will have the correct stats. It won't just re-roll the stats. Maybe Pokemon Go will even introduce the 4 moves versus 2. I don't know how likely that really is, but it would make a lot of sense, like I said, for when you're transferring Pokemon. In the main series games, Pokemon have abilities which give them a strategic advantage a lot of times versus them not really being useful otherwise. So we have like Wonder Guard, for example. I'm pretty sure Mew can get the move Wonder Guard, and Wonder Guard is basically an ability that makes a Pokemon immune to any moves that aren't super effective. We also have abilities like Levitate, which makes Pokemon immune to ground type moves. There are a lot of Pokemon in Pokemon Go that have really cool abilities in their main series games, but in Pokemon Go they're virtually useless. There are a lot of Pokemon that do not work in the metagame. There's only a handful of Pokemon that are really useful in Pokemon Go when you really break it down. We have Pokemon like Tyranitar and Dragonite and Gardevoir, things like that. They do good in the game, but there are a lot of Pokemon that have been let down from the Pokemon Company because they don't have their abilities that make them useful in Pokemon Go. So maybe if we did get this rework in the game for PvP, maybe Pokemon would start having abilities. That would be super cool. Another thing that we see in the main series that we don't see in Pokemon Go are status conditions. So basically in the main series games, there are certain moves that can inflict damage that stick with the Pokemon throughout the entire battle and can hurt them over time. We have paralyzed, poisoned, burned, frozen, all of those kinds of things. That would be really cool to see in Pokemon Go because it would make battles more interesting, a little bit more strategic. That would be something that we would probably see if they did a battle rework for PvP. But just like all of these things that I'm mentioning, we don't know if they're going to rework any of this. PvP might just straight up be the tapping battling system that we already know, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Okay, so I guess later is right now, so let's talk about what I think Niantic would do and what I hope to see with PvP in Pokemon Go. I haven't really covered my opinions much, so let's do that right now. So basically, I can't decide if I think Niantic is going to just leave the current battle system we have right now, just put the PvP mode in and keep the same tapping the screen system that we have. You just tap, tap, tap against each other's Pokemon, you dodge each other's move. That would work. I feel like a lot of people are expecting something different, but it's pretty likely that that's what Niantic's gonna do. They're just going to kind of do it the easy way. I'm kind of worried that they're just gonna give us the PvP mode, call it PvP mode. Yes, you do the one-on-one battle, but like I said, you're just tapping the screen, dodging each other's attacks. I don't know if there's gonna be a lot of strategy in it, but let's talk about what I hope to see in PvP in Pokemon Go. So for me personally, I hope to see the more strategic turn-based battle for PvP. But I don't want to see that for gym battles and for raid battles because I do like the quickness of just getting the battle over with and leaving. I hope that the PvP mode will be the only way to do the turn-based battle, the more strategic and slow battle that takes more time. I hope they don't change the entire game so much that you always have to take that much time to battle, because I feel like one of the greatest things about Pokemon Go was that you can kind of just stay on the go. It's a quick paced game. I feel like they should just give us the option to have the turn-based battles in PvP, but we're not forced to do that all the time. I also don't really think they're going to give us the full 6 stats like they have in the main series games. I think they're going to leave it with just HP, attack, defense. I don't think we're going to go any more in depth with the stats. I feel like when we trade our Pokemon from Pokemon Go into the Let's Go games, I feel like their stats are just going to re-roll. They're just going to change, which really sucks because what if you have like a 100% IV Dratini that you want to transfer into Let's Go and it's completely trash when it gets to the game? Fingers crossed they do something where that doesn't happen, but in my opinion, I really think that's what's going to happen. I really think the stats are going to re-roll. And another thing, I personally don't believe that they're going to give Pokemon and Pokemon Go the 4 moves. I don't know, guys. I can't really say for sure. It would make sense if they did the turn-based battles for PvP to give us the 4 moves just like the main series games. But honestly, the fast moves and the charge moves work really well in Pokemon Go. Really works for the current gym system. That's why I'm just torn right now, you guys. I don't know if they're going to give us a whole new gym system or if they're just going to give us that one system for PvP, or if everything's just going to stay the same. They're just going to throw in the PvP mode, but it's going to be the same as gym battles. I don't know. It's confusing. Now, I would really love to see abilities and status conditions in Pokemon Go, but I'll be completely honest with you. I don't think Niantic is willing to change the game that drastically. I feel like if we had abilities and status conditions and turn-based battles in Pokemon Go, everything would be super slow. Raid battles would be slow, gym battles would be slow. I don't think that's going to work well. And like I said, I don't think Niantic is willing to change the game that drastically. Now, a lot of people are really demanding all of these features, but I don't think they're really considering how much it would change everything. And I know that there's a lot of competitive people out there that really want the competitive aspect in the game. They want to do the turn-based battles. Maybe they could do something where the PvP would be the only feature with the turn-based battles, and that would be the only time that you could use abilities or status conditions, and maybe they would leave it limited to just the PvP. I personally think that would be great, because me, myself, I'm not much of a competitive person. I probably wouldn't use PvP that much unless I'm at like a meetup and I'm with other YouTubers or subscribers, and you know, I want to use my Gengar against my friend's favorite Pokemon. You know, like that would be really fun just to have that one-on-one battle. But like I said, I'm not very competitive, so it's not really for me. But there is this huge group of people in the Pokemon community that love competitive gameplay. They've always played competitively in the main series games, and they are dying for this feature. So Niantic better figure out something to please everyone, because I think that is the main goal as a company and as a brand. One more thing that I really want to see in PvP in Pokemon Go is AR mode PvP. I want to look at my phone and see my friend with his Pokemon in real life, training his Pokemon, battling against me. I think that would be super cool. I would love that so much. I've seen some concept art of it and it looks really cool. And I think the AR aspect would be awesome for PvP. Just an extra thing to throw in there. So my final thoughts on PvP basically are that I don't want it to drastically change the game, because I really do like this game. I want it to be kind of a choice thing, like I said. Maybe it can be like PvP is the feature where you can do the status conditions, abilities, all that kind of thing, the turn-based battles, but I don't want it to be forced upon people who like Pokemon Go the way it is. Like me, myself, I really do like the way Pokemon Go is currently. But I guess that wraps it up for today's video. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about PvP, when you think it'll be coming, and if you think it is linked with the Pokemon Let's Go games, and how you think it's going to be. Do you think that they're going to completely rework all the battling systems, or do you think it's just going to be its own new mode? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel to join my Gengar gang, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!